Coming up on News 35, Hawaiian Ensemble holds their first event on campus, and the students and professors alike share their opinion on a popular website. All this and more next.
Comprehensive news coverage for the University of San Francisco. This is News 35, your campus news and information leader.
Hi, thanks for joining us. I'm Shayna Onagan. A relatively new organization on campus held their first event. Rochelle Lozano has that story.
A Luau is not the only Hawaiian event happening this semester, as USF's Hawaiian Ensemble, a new cultural club established this year, held their first annual event called an Hawike on February 22nd in the McLaren Complex. The Hawike was a night of perpetuating the Hawaiian culture and sharing the love of dance, acting, and chanting to tell the story of two legendary gods named Pele and Kamapua'a. Drama seemed to be the theme of the night, with Tahitian dancers gyrating their hips to loud drums, elaborate costumes, beautiful hula dancing, and men wrapped in only loincloths. What was your favorite part of the show?
It has to be the one where they imitated the hogs, I guess. They did that one move like that. I was like, that's cute. It's definitely fun, being able to help this first-year club out with their big event. It was nice to see the big turnout. It looked like the people we expected showed up, and it was definitely fun dancing. I've never danced hula, it's my first time.
VP for University Life Margaret Higgins also graced the stage, performing the hula for the first time.
Well, it felt fabulous. And the only reason it felt fabulous was because Mahi and Jenna and the students were such absolutely wonderful teachers, and the crowd was very forgiving. Now, the funny part of it is I'm Irish, so I kept thinking it was my Wild Irish Rose, but it really was my Yellow Ginger Lay. But they gave me an easy song. They were great teachers. It felt wonderful.
Hawaiian Ensemble President Jenna Waipa is very proud of their first event and what the ensemble stands for. Huio Hawaii may have been the first Hawaiian club on campus, but the newly established Hawaiian Ensemble proved their success and made their presence known. This is Rochelle Lozano with News 35.
With fall registration fast approaching, how are you going to decide on which professors to take? Ashton Bothman investigates.
RateMyProfessors.com is a website used by students as an outlet to help determine which professor to take.
I think it's great. I know that my friends and I use it before we register for classes every semester, and I think it's a great way for students to come together, discuss what professors they like.
As a consumer that's spending that much money, I think that if you have choices available, you should be informed on those choices, and RateMyProfessors.com appears at this time to be one of the only outlets in which people can make an informed choice to the best of the information.
Professors have the choice to disregard the comments or use them constructively.
You can either ignore it and say, well, they're only students, they don't know what they're talking about, or you can say, wow, there's enough people saying the same thing, maybe I need to work on being clearer or being more fair or loosening up or tightening up or whatever, based on the consistency of the comments.
As with anything, there are critiques to this website.
I have questions about the parameters. What does ease mean? Does ease mean that the class is accessible and that the professor is a good teacher because she or he is really trying to explain something? Or does ease mean that the professor makes it easy? And is a professor who makes it easy a good professor, or is a professor who makes it easy a bad professor?
Some students can be kind of cruel, and especially since it's for public consumption. I don't agree with that. I wish they would just be descriptive. Say, he or she's unclear, he or she, I perceive him or her to be unfair for these reasons, etc., versus, some personal attacks.
Professor Whaley sees potential with the website. On the other hand, Professor Goodwin would prefer a different means of communication.
I would like to see far more dependent measures or adjectives describing the professor.
The best alternative would be teachers and students who were completely present with each other while they were in the same room, who were paying attention to each other.
With such a controversial website, opinions vary greatly amongst professors and students.
But I do find it a bit offensive to think of colleagues being rated according to how hot they are in public. I think that's really rude.
I don't think it's important for a professor to look good in the classroom. It's important that he teaches well, and interacts with the students.
I take what I do very seriously. I take academics and teaching very seriously. And just because you're a professor doesn't mean you're good at it.
I'm Ashton Bothman with News 35.
Now there's a website for college students with an internet connection and not much else to do. Erica Mashinsky reports.
BoardUSF.net is the latest website for students to voice their opinions about their experiences at USF. This site includes random comments about ice cream, questions about politics, complaints about overcrowding, and suggestions about how not to be bored.
It turns out that there's board at Harvard.net, there's board at Yale, there's board at USC, there's board at UCLA. It seems to me like kind of a chain market of websites.
BoardUSF's founder, Jonathan Pappas, from Columbia University, first started the site for his own school.
New York Times reviewed it, so they called it like the bathroom wall of like social networking sites.
USF's version of BoardUSF was launched in late September of 2007 with its first anonymous post, quote, "Very nice," end quote.
Point of it, they told us, was to kind of create a sense of community and like a kind of like a language for the school.
I think the idea is a little ridiculous. I also think that their main problem is that it hasn't caught on.
I went on it just out of curiosity, and honestly, I was disappointed.
I haven't been to the website. I've heard of it. I've seen some kid putting little sticky notes with BoardUSF on it.
Actually, I have not visited the website because when I saw it, it was like a post-it at work.
I haven't gone on it, but I saw it in the bathroom and I was like, wow, this looks interesting.
I have not heard of BoardUSF.net.
I think the website's very different from the students I know at USF. I don't know many board students at USF.
There are other ways to mediate boredom besides posting random anonymous comments on a useless website.
Pappas quotes, "We are on a mission to democratize the thoughts and ideas of communities, attempting to shed light on the question, what are the people around you really thinking?" America Mashinsky with News 35.
Let's see what's going on with other college campuses around the nation. Here's Lee Quinn with the College Beat.
A student was shot on the sidewalk at the University of Arkansas last Wednesday in what police described as an isolated incident. After he was shot, the victim staggered to his car, where ambulance attendants reached him and rushed him to a hospital. Both suspects fled the campus immediately. The semester resumed last Tuesday at Northern Illinois University after the tragic death of 5 students who were murdered by a gunman who then turned the gun upon himself. The school has provided all classrooms with counselors and will continue to provide them for the rest of the semester. The Western Association of Schools and Colleges announced last Tuesday that it is revoking the accreditation for New College of California. The New College of California was a quirky newcomer known for offering unconventional programs, such as a degree in activism and social change. The accreditation body says issues facing the school range from financial problems to questionable standards. Officials say this will likely lead to the closure of the 37-year-old college. This has been the College Beat. I'm Lee Quinn with News 35.
And that's all for the news. See you next time.